Zarna responds to sexual violence and stalking. Part 3. What is sexual harassment?
Answer: everything. And you have
time
to
to
point
get
it all out.
It's clear that most people in our society don't even know what sexual harassment means. So I'm going to tell you how to recognize it in my situation and in everyday life, in the deep hope that our sisters and queer and trans siblings might have a chance in this world. I'm going to tell you what I've learned from living on this earth for over 30 years.
30 years, and you still haven't matured.
So listen up, because these voices are the voices of your sisters, your daughters, your friends, your mothers, and your grandmothers.
Men don't get to decide what sexual harassment is, any more than white people get to decide what racism is.
Wait.
All right, well, that's settled. Men don't get to decide. Rule number 1. Men don't get to decide what harassment is.
But you, sir, get to decide that.
Yeah.
Mr. White Male. What are you doing?
How did she find all these people? Like, what the fuck? Okay, first
I think
of
she
all,
paid them. Well, somebody did.
men can't define sexual harassment even when they're victims of it? Like, men can't define sexual harassment even when they're victims of it?
Men aren't victims.
No, men can't be
Okay,
victims.
I guess the statistics are a complete lie then.
Apparently, according to Zarna's little cult.
Okay, so she has a worldview in which men pretty much... I don't know how you make this statement or script this statement without believing that men can't be victims of sexual harassment. She has a worldview in which men categorically cannot be victims of sexual harassment, which is convenient since she just sexually harassed a man on camera. But she has this worldview, and then she turns around and says society hates women. Does society think that women can't be sexually harassed?
Give it time.
Oh yeah, give it some more Zarnas.
Yeah.
There's been a couple of generations before the only people who can be sexually harassed are feminists.
Because patriarchy and racism are systems of power. Men and white people profit from those systems of power, even if they don't know they're perpetuating them. That's why they don't get to decide how to define them.
Sure, our system is designed to keep women oppressed. But using freedom of speech as your excuse to say vile things to women makes you a coward.
Wait. Is this still about a fucking dad joke?
Oh, yeah. Humongous. I don't know, man. I'm just looking at this dude and I'm just tripping balls.
I wonder what he...
I'm just like, what?
Yeah, I wanted to...
I'm sorry, but... Oh, my God, dude.
I'm more wondering what you're reading, sir. It's clearly nothing. You're holding that book as a prop to try and look intelligent.
Yeah, right.
You're not fooling anyone.
Native American rights.
I'm sorry, you interrupted me as I was reading the Communist Manifesto. But you know what I mean, I said this already, but the ironic thing about this is that the humongous joke is way better now. Thanks, feminists. You've just made a dad joke way more powerful.
And edgy.
Yes.
And no one's even gone as far as saying freedom of speech, because this is a dad joke. If he had said, fuck you, you brown cunt, I hope you burn in hell, then we'd have to go to freedom of speech. Okay, he does technically get to say that, even though it's not on. All he said was humongous. Fuck freedom of speech. He said nothing wrong.
And it's also sexual harassment.
Why does she think it's only, like, she needs men to say this to other men? Like, she believes that only men would listen to other men. She also, again, has a really low opinion of women. I mean, to assume that you need a man to do that, you know. Guys,
Well,
listen
obviously
up.
she has a low opinion of women because she regards women as victims of society rather than having power to create it. At least, I would say a lot of power to create it, but you know that's how much and how little is a discussion for another day.
All right. Let's hear what the busy truck driver has to say.
Going beyond any woman's boundaries is sexual harassment.
Okay, wait a second. Who went beyond whose boundaries? You look at the video of this guy. He's trying to get the fuck away from her, and she is pursuing him.
Yeah, she drew her boundaries 5 feet behind him. He had already stepped over them by being stood where he was already stood. Again, they can make an accusation and there's no defense because they can draw their boundaries wherever the hell they like. They can draw them in fucking Dar es Salaam if they feel like it.
This individual wanted to be a victim of this guy. She didn't just say humongous and leave it at that. She wanted to force him to, quote unquote, victimize her by sexualizing what he said and insisting that he sexualize it as well. She's weaponizing her boundaries.
And then she pretty much stalked him.
Yeah.
She stalked him out of the building. So what do you have to say, fella?
Getting your friends to bully her, harass her, stalk her because she won't respond to you in a consenting way, that's sexual harassment.
You don't say!
Okay, Zarna, you are a sexual harasser according to all of these men if you apply the same standards to you. And you explain to me why we don't apply the same standard. Oh, right, patriarchal oppression. All kinds of mystical mumbo jumbo that you can't actually fucking prove. That's why the same standards don't have to apply to you.
Commenting on how a woman looks when you don't know her, and she's not your partner, and you don't have her consent, sexual harassment.
Wait.
It's okay if she's your partner, though?
You can... They probably took him aside after that, and they're like, look, actually... even if they're your partner, you can't really do that.
If you say something to a woman and she doesn't like it, and you still say it, that's sexual harassment.
Even if that's humongous?
What if it's true and she doesn't like it?
Yeah. Yeah, like if a woman
you're not
is...
here by 8 a.m., you are late. I don't like that.
What's the weather out? It's raining. I don't like that. That's sexual harassment.
So I guess I guess he was sexually harassing her because when she asked him his name, he kept saying humongous, and she didn't like that.
Mm-mm.
Well, what if a man is like, I don't want to have sex with you, and the woman's like, I don't like that.
It's sexual harassment. They've written articles about that one, haven't they? Denying a woman sex is like sexual assault, like not raping a woman is raping a woman or something.
If you say something to a woman and she tells you you're sexually harassing her, and then you go find her email and email her multiple times and ask her to go to lunch with you, that's called stalking, and it's sexual harassment.
Wow, that's a really specific case that you're putting forward, my friend. Could you be speaking from personal experience? That's really specific, isn't it? That's like, if you ask a woman on a date and she says no, and then you go find her email and you send her a bunch of emails saying, hey, how about that date? And then she continues to say no, and then you go to her job because you look it up on like LinkedIn and you find the address through Google Maps and you drive over to where she's living or where she works
Which
to
happens
go
to be-
and you show up there with flowers that you spent like $20 on because they're really expensive, and you brought her like her favorite meal because you did all the research to figure out that what all of her allergies were, and you brought her something specific and you bring it to her cubicle without her knowledge because you wanted to surprise her with something, and then she says she doesn't like it. I guess that's sexual harassment
And
too.
you wear your best dark grey shirt and trim your beard just right.
Yeah.
If we have to use mental acrobatics to justify abusive behavior, like saying that was just a dad joke or a fat joke, that is sexual harassment.
So saying it's a dad joke is also sexual harassment?
It's also mental gymnastics.
Wait,
No, mental acrobatics. That's
Mental
what he said.
acrobatics.
Mental acrobatics. What?
So labeling something what it is mental acrobatics.
Saying the words "it's a dad joke" is mental.
Tai
Just
Chi?
lifting one fucking arm. The 3 videos Zarna Joshi just made was mental acrobatics.
So I guess, is this really about the comment section?
No.
Or is this really about
This
humongous?
is really about humongous.
We're back, or are we just back on humongous?
I think
It's hard to get away from humongous.
He's got his own gravity.
Yes.
But no, they're saying that it can't possibly be a dad joke or a fat joke.
No. it's
Even
only a
though
dick
he
joke.
stopped.
If he lifted up his shirt, you would learn that that's not his gut.
That was his dick coiled up around his belly button.
No, it's just one giant head. It's just like the head of a fucking squid. You just fall out like an octopus.
And he'd actually look like he's
Yeah.
about 160 pounds.
But he stayed covered up for our benefit. That's why he was pointing at his body part. She could smell it on him.
If you have to make a long-winded explanation about how your harmless joke was not sexual harassment, it's sexual harassment.
What?
No, the only reason why people are making long-winded explanations is because you have to talk to people like they're 10 to help them understand what a joke is.
If
Little
what
boy
he
by the
says requires you to complete it with a particular word, if what somebody says, the phrase that someone says, requires an additional word to make it sexual harassment, the person supplying the additional word or insisting that the additional word be supplied to turn that original phrase into something sexual is the sexual harasser.
Now, where's your defense, Zarna? I hope it doesn't take the form of mental acrobatics.
If you wouldn't say it to your daughter or mother, it's sexual harassment. There are some men who would say it to their daughter. That's called grooming.
What?
What did
How
you
did we
say?
get there? If you would say that to your daughter or your mother, if you would say that to your daughter or your mother, it's sexual harassment. Then we move to, and there are men who do this, and it's called grooming. So feel extra bad. Feel extra bad, people.
So we escalated from humongous being a stupid pun to it being pedophilic grooming.
Woo!
This is
My
beyond
God.
doubling down.
I don't know if the church did shit like this. Did they? No.
I think well, I mean, ultimately they did shove hot lead, but the day is young when it comes to feminist orthodoxy. We might be looking at back, those of us who survive in 40 years, we might be looking back and saying, yep, we did end up going there. Feminists did end up pouring hot lead up the asses of the new witches and heretics of this new age. Let's hope it doesn't get to that point.
I hope not. But if it does, at least I'll get to see what a fall of a civilization looks like.
Well, the Bronze Age empires collapsed within the span of 50 years. And really fast, too. So it is entirely possible that we could witness the collapse of Western civilization within our lifetime.
Happening for at least 50 years, isn't it?
This?
Not this.
30?
I think probably 10. Because this is really the rise of social media that's accelerated
All of this. So basically like feminism of the 70s and 60s.
The Bronze Age collapsed in 50 years in a time when it takes 50 years to cross a continent, right? Then now that it takes a few hours and it only takes a few seconds to communicate with someone on the other side of the world, it could happen in 50 days.
Yeah, that's sort of frightening, isn't it?
A little bit.
But who knows? Maybe these ignorant people won't end up destroying everything by rooting through the very foundation and the roots that keep the tree up. Okay, this is depressing. Let's
Get through this. This is hilarious stuff. Hilarious. Grooming is hilarious.
If you see that, reach out to the daughter and ask if she's okay.
But if the daughter says she is okay, is she internalizing her oppression?
Yeah, so just abduct her, take her to your house, teach her the right way to do things.
It is likely her father is abusive, and that he's teaching her that rape culture is okay.
Oh, drink.
Oh, God, rape culture. Here we go. All right. Santy Flaws, let's see what you got to say.
Lying about what really happened in a sexual harassment case, like saying that she started it or asked for it or wanted it, is rape culture.
She
asked for his name.
What's your name? Humongous. Humongous what? Humongous what? Humongous what? She was
What is your
asking.
name? What is your name? What is your name? What is your... That's going to be her in the fucking padded cell. What is your name?
Saying that boys will be boys is rape culture.
Drink!
Boys will be boys. Drink.
Believing that men are not capable of controlling ourselves is rape culture.
Tell boys they should not be boys. They should be anything but boys, and that won't cause any psychological damage at all.
If it's not consent culture, it's rape culture.
What is
Whoa! Whoa! Zero-sum game much?
If it's what it already is consent culture, because men are expected to get women's consent legally to sex.
To everything.
Presumably the other way around, but not in practice. What is your point?
When women do it, it's consent culture. When men do it, it's rape culture.
Yep.
Thinking that a woman should just shrug off being sexually harassed because it's not what women normally go through, or it's not what they used to go through in the past, that is rape culture.
What?
What the fuck are you even talking about?
It don't even make any fucking sense.
Okay.
Okay,
Right.
I'm gonna try to get my brain.
So women should not have an iota of tolerance for anything that men say, and should only ever try to find the worst kind of intent.
And
no matter
interpret
what
it.
a man says, interpret it in the worst possible way. Whenever a man says anything to a woman, even if it's hello or I'm here to deliver your mail, and
Worst possible intent.
and it has to be, you're here to rape me. You're not here for to give me mail. I don't know you. How do you know where my address is? That's what they're expecting. That's what's going on.
So at every moment, you tell women that they're in a constant state of battle with men, and that they should interpret everything, even the most innocent thing, in the most horrendous way possible. So a ridiculous, silly joke like humongous, and trying to shrug her off so he can just get on with his life without her in it, that becomes sexual harassment. And you're weaponizing. It's not even like the inmates are running the asylum. It's like you've weaponized the inmates, and you're letting them run the asylum.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Giving them all fucking
Uzis.
Yeah, that and PCP. You told them to run the game the keys.
That's Zarna.
Yeah.
She's an inmate with PCP and an Uzi running the fucking asylum.
Threatening a woman with rape or violence because she dared to speak up about sexual harassment is rape culture and sexual violence.
Okay, but what I was going to say is I think Zarna misses the days when, a tribal queen could go send a whole bunch of men to die for her fucking sexual honor.
Yep.
And all she can do is send them to mug at a camera and repeat the phrases she's taught them. All right, continue.
Calling a woman crazy when she screams about sexual harassment, that's rape culture. That's patriarchy.
Calling a woman crazy.
And she screams. And she did literally scream.
Yeah. Sorry, man. That's crazy. That's patriarchy.
No woman is obligated to make you feel comfortable after she's been sexually harassed.
She shouldn't have to concern herself with his comfort. Well, how far can you take it? Can, like, some man who with a lazy eye, some woman says, "Oh my God, he's winked at me. I'm gonna pursue him with a fucking gun because I don't have to worry about his comfort." Like, I'm sure what they're responding to is people saying, "Well, what about you? Like, you made this guy really uncomfortable." Yeah, Zarna, because you fucking sexually harassed him. You are the predator that you are looking for. Mm-hmm. If you go to someone, they're obviously uncomfortable enough, you ask for their name, they give you a joke name, which is an obvious joke name, because they don't want to talk to you, they don't want you to have their name, and then you continue to pursue them and try to make what they said into something sexual, which they are distinctly, visibly uncomfortable with, and they are only interested in getting away from you. That, I think most people would agree, is legitimate sexual harassment.
When you do it on the internet, it's generally referred to as doxing. When you insist on knowing someone's real full name for obviously nefarious purposes. So is doxing okay? Apparently it's not okay when the bad people do it, but when you do it, everyone who doesn't let you do it is a sexual harasser.
What is your name? What is your name? What is your name?
Ma'am?
What is your name? I'm not disrupting anything.
Business.
I'm going after the person who harassed me, which was you.
I should point out, I think we have finally hit a case where more than half of the people are actually not on the woman's side. Yeah, however vocal or unvocal they may be. We've finally hit a case where most people, even most women, even probably quite a lot of feminists are like, no, this shit is too far. But and you know you've made this series of videos to hit back at the majority not agreeing with you, and fair enough. I'm all for you know speaking out your unpopular opinions. But here's the response to those unpopular opinions, Zarna. Do you think we're sexually harassing you as well?
No, you don't have the right to expect women to be nice to you.
Do you expect men to be nice to women?
Of course they do.
Okay, just checking.
Expecting all women to be nice to you is patriarchy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Seriously,
derp.
y'all. Expecting women to be nice is patriarchy. Patriarchy sounds pretty fucking cool.
See, this isn't just expecting all men to be nice to you. It's expecting all men to give you their full real name when you ask for it. Presumably including on the internet. You know, you're not allowed to give your screen name or your avatar. You have to identify yourself there. Women don't have to, obviously. If they want to completely mask their face in some kind of veil, that's fine.
When you see a woman subjected to sexual violence, the way Zarna has been subjected to sexual violence.
Sexual violence.
It's sexual violence now.
Oh, I want to go. I want to see because he says the way that she has been in, and I want to make sure that he's referring to the incident. I want to go back a little bit.
What else could he be referring
I don't know.
to? The
There might be a
internet
story
comments?
to it.
The cyber violence?
Could be that.
It
Yeah,
could be that.
We want to make sure that we're like pinpointing the right
To
argument.
be nice to you is patriarchy.
Yeah, man.
When you see a woman subjected to sexual violence, the way Zarna has been subjected to sexual violence in the form of sexual harassment, cyber stalking, slander, hate messages, rape threats, death threats, and you don't do anything to help her or to stop it, that's rape culture.
Okay, all right. If what you highlighted were examples of that, they weren't. One. I wish you'd be gang raped is nobody gets passive aggressive raped. Oh my God, Lindsay, I wish you'd be gang raped. I just raped you. That was a rape threat. No, I don't think so.
That's pretty violent.
Would you refer to what
That's
Zarna
good.
did?
It's not nice.
Would you refer to what Zarna did as sexual violence? I might not go that far, although she did try to get security
Yes.
to manhandle him to the ground. She tried to get the police to throw him in jail. That's proxy violence.
Threats.
Sexual proxy violence, right?
Threats. Well, I mean, I don't know if you would say sexual proxy violence, but definitely proxy violence. Unless she was hoping to also, the fact that he might, if he gets arrested for harming a woman, he'd probably be beaten and raped in prison.
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah, there's that.
And she probably would wish it on him too.
Yeah, okay. So, is there anything here that you've listed that Zarna hasn't done like 10 times harder?
That's patriarchy, and you're enabling it.
Oh shit, the dramatic finish.
Oh,
the cringe.
The usual suspects.
Look at that lip curl. It's like, oh, thank you very much.
My God, that is the fuckingest fucking rape face I've ever seen. This face is like, I'm just gonna wake up in the middle of the night and I'll be like in the middle of those night terrors when you're paralyzed and you're still sort of hallucinating.
She's like,
and that face is gonna be right in front of me and I'm gonna be like,
Fuck
don't rape me, Zarna. Don't rape me,
Put some lotion in the basket.
Make it stop.
Notice how I only brought men to give this message?
Yes, we did. You made it pretty abundantly clear. Let me guess. This is the part where you say, I brought men only to this message because, as we know, people only listen to important things when men say them. Which, by the way, means it's part of patriarchy, rape culture, white supremacy, and what am I missing? Yeah, all that.
Intersectionality,
Yeah,
male privilege, the boys will be boys.
I like how that guy back there, he's like, I'm important. I contributed to this. You are sad.
I forgot that the director told me not to smile.
That's because you're patriarchal and you won't listen any other way.
Are you gonna all beat us up now?
These guys are looking kind of thuggish.
They are a little thuggish, which goes well with Zarna because she's also pretty.
No,
thuggish
she's the
too.
thuggiest of all.
Yeah.
She's like, da 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 da.
They're like a gang of enablers. If you disagree with her reality, they'll come and beat you up.
We'll make you see.
Are you open to learning?
Are you guys gonna drink from a goblet of blood now from a skull?
Jesus Christ, who knows?
All right, let's hit play.
If you're a man, use your privilege to educate others about patriarchy, but always be humble before the voices of those who are oppressed. You followed their lead.
Whoa. Give us all your power.
Okay, do you think it gets cringier? Because I'm already cringing pretty fucking hard.
This is really messed up.
If you're a woman, a queer or transgender person, and or a person of color, know that the way you are abused is not your fault. You didn't do anything to deserve it. You were simply born into a body the patriarchy despises. You were born into a body that is objectified and commodified so that those in power can keep their power.
Wouldn't it be horrible if you're completely wrong, Zarna?
Is she staring off into space, or
she's reading a script?
She's reading.
She's reading a script on a teleprompter. My God, if you're wrong, Zarna, and you're actually teaching people that they're hated when they're not, that's sort of hateful.
Yeah.
Do you hate minorities and women? I mean, obviously you hate men, but
Just
you
the
just hate
patriarchy.
everyone.
Well, men are a minority, and globally speaking, white people are a minority.
Mm-hmm.
So we will bring this system down by refusing to be quiet. We will refuse to be quiet about sexual harassment, assault, rape, and violence. Together with our male allies, we will defeat this oppression. That's how we will smash patriarchy.
She's doubling like this. I think that she should apply for a grant in like the drilling industry, because this is way beyond doubling down. This has to be some. She's like busy just.
This is way beyond mental acrobatics.
Yeah,
This
she's
is
just busy drilling to the center of the
mental
earth.
coal mining, which is less dangerous than actual coal mining.
Nuclear war.
It's only nuclear war. Okay.
Wow.
That's the sound in her brain right now.
I think Humongous may have given her a greater purpose. I think that when he did that day, he changed Zarna forever.
Yeah, he turned her into a fucking internet celebrity, and this is her cashing in on it as best she can.
It's hokey. It's so fucking hokey. Like, ugh.
All right, let's get to the end here. This guy's like squinting at us. What is that? Is that the 100-yard stare?
He thinks he's Jason Statham, doesn't he?
Yeah, right. Do you know
fuck you up? Do you know what I mean?
Swear on me, mum. Are you having a giggle, mate? Okay.
And that's not rhetoric. I'm going to tell you all about it.
Oh God! Jesus!
Holy shit! Have you ever seen V? I think it's like she's gonna swallow a mouse. God damn! This is like some supervillain shit. Like they take over the TV screens. And, and then they say, that the time of reckoning is coming, and then like some monument blows up.
Look at the fucking grin on her face.
Oh my God!
Is this when she starts crying again?
No, now she's got her
thugs.
groove back.
But this is like, remember when I said that Zarna secretly longs for the days where she was a tribal queen directing men to die from slaughter for her sexual honor? The fuck do you think this is?
This is like something right out of a Doctor Doom script. The day of reckoning is coming.
She doesn't seem particularly traumatized now, and
No.
she didn't seem particularly traumatized back then.
Part 4, Heart to Heart, coming soon.
Traumatizing.
If you want to smash the patriarchy, then share this video.
Smash the patriarchy means smash the men. That's the only thing it's ever mean.
Yeah, do you mail...
You are a racist, sexist thug, Zarna.
Are the male allies in your video aware
Oh, she's got a fun.
that when she is done with the patriarchy, who do you think is next? You guys are not safe. You are in the worst place.
Get out of there.
Yeah, get out.
Get away from Zarna.
Find your individuality.
Pick up your check. Get back to your lives.
You may think it's love, but it really is rape.
It's either the world's lowest hanging fruit, like say a fruit that's been dropped down one of those fucking lava shafts in Iceland, or a fruit that's just been blasted into the stratosphere.
It's Schrodinger's fruit.
It's
It's the alpha and the omega.
Some kind of hyper fruit.
Hyper fruit.
So we got it. We got it done. Let's get it edited.
Here's some final words. Before you know it, an innocent gorilla won't be able to wander across the camera without getting shot.